Ah, the mighty can't sleep tonight, can they? You walk in silence, and yet their dreams tremble. They called themselves untouchable, built empires out of arrogance, walls out of names, and crowns out of lies. But then you arrived, quiet, patient, different. You were supposed to fade into the static, the background noise of their perfect show. But instead, you became the glitch, the sound that won't stop echoing. They keep turning the volume down, and somehow you get louder. They used to laugh at you, dismissed your absence as weakness. They mistook your silence for surrender. But silence isn't absence. It's surveillance. It's the sound before the verdict. Now every time your name gets mentioned, the room goes still, because deep down, they know you were never gone. You were gathering. Every breath they wasted mocking you became a confession. Every fake smile was logged as evidence. You're not haunting them. You're haunting their sleep. Every blink feels like you're watching. Every lie sounds like your laughter. And now, they can't tell what's worse, your silence, or the fact that it's finally speaking. They mocked your collapse. They didn't even whisper about it. They celebrated it. Their laughter didn't just echo. It announced your funeral before you were even dead. They danced over your downfall like gods watching mortals burn. To them, your suffering was entertainment. Your silence was proof of guilt. Your disappearance was convenience. They erased you from the room, then told the story like you were never there. Your name removed from conversations, deleted from credits, replaced by replicas who wore your smile, but not your scars. They turned your pain into their promotion. Your mistakes became their marketing strategy. And yet, you didn't vanish, did you? You became quiet. But quiet doesn't mean gone. Quiet means calculating. You were studying. You saw every smirk. You recorded every insult. You memorized the tone in their voice when they pretended to care. Every handshake that came with a hidden knife. Archived. Every promise that turned to poison. Documented. You started building your case, not for revenge, for revelation. Because you knew one day the truth would crawl back through the cracks in their perfection, screaming your name. They thought your silence was surrender. They didn't realize it was storage. A vault built from restraint. A filing cabinet of sins, sealed with your scars. Now every one of their victories feels contaminated. Because deep down, they know what's buried beneath it. They can feel it. The walls shaking, the ground remembering. And the vault, it's beginning to hum. Because silence doesn't keep secrets forever. It keeps evidence. While they celebrated, you studied. You watched them toast to your downfall like fools drunk on arrogance. Every cheer they raised became another lesson in human hypocrisy. Every smirk they threw your way, a page in your manual of war. You learned their routines, their tells, their weaknesses disguised as confidence. You memorized the cracks in their walls, the tremor in their laughter, the way their eyes shifted when truth brushed too close. Your silence. It wasn't surrender. It was surveillance. You weren't gone. You were gathering. You were cataloging patterns, collecting fingerprints on every betrayal. While they danced in the illusion of victory, you built your strategy beneath the floorboards. You turned pain into architecture. Brick by brick, you constructed something no applause could reach. You learned that suffering has blueprints, and you followed them with surgical precision. Every scar became a coordinate, every wound a calculation. And while they wasted nights chasing validation, you built an empire out of information. You stopped reacting. You started recording. Every insult got stored in the archives. Every humiliation got filed under Exhibit A. And one day, when the vault finally opens, all those moments will stand as sworn testimony. You became quiet, not to disappear, but to witness, to evolve into something cold, deliberate, undeniable. You studied the storm until you learned how to control lightning. You weren't waiting for revenge. You were collecting proof of prophecy. They used to laugh louder when you entered. Now, they lower their voices when you're near. Same rooms, same faces, different gravity. The storm flipped, quietly. No fireworks, no announcement. Just a shift in air pressure when your name was mentioned. You didn't need to shout. You simply existed louder. Their empire shakes, not because you attacked, but because you stopped explaining yourself. You stopped chasing validation. And that silence, oh, that silence, became the most deafening sound they'd ever heard. You move differently now. Every step is measured like a verdict being read. Every glance is cross-examination. You don't fight for attention. You summon it. Their confidence begins to fracture under the weight of your calm. Because calm is dangerous when it's earned through chaos. They used to own the room. Now they defend it. Their smiles come with tremors. Their words trail off mid-sentence like witnesses under oath. You don't even have to threaten them. Your existence is evidence. You became what they feared. Predictable in discipline, unpredictable in reaction. They can't calculate you anymore, and the unknown terrifies the powerful. You don't roar, you don't strike, you just walk past, and the world reorders itself to make space. That's what awakening feels like. Not rage, but restraint. Not revenge, but remembrance. Because now the balance has shifted. The hunter doesn't chase, the prey confesses. And the untouchable ones, they can't even touch, sleep anymore. They made you the villain, so you perfected the role. They sculpted your silence into something sinister. They painted your name in shadows and expected you to hide from it. But you learned to live in the dark. Every rumor they spread became part of your legend. Every insult, ammunition, every lie, a line in your mythology. They tried to humiliate you, and in doing so, they gave you a crown made of their mockery, a crown you wear with quiet venom. They built your image like a monster, thinking the world would run. Instead, the world listened. Because monsters don't beg for truth, they embody it. You became the reflection they feared, not because you changed, but because you stopped apologizing for surviving. Now they see your shadow in every corridor of their conscience. Your name whispered like a warning before guilt sets in. They catch glimpses of you in every mirror that cracks, in every silence that stretches too long. You live rent-free in their regrets. Their confidence, it fractures the moment you walk by. Their laughter, forced, thin, trembling. They tried to bury you, but you were soil all along, meant to grow through their graves, meant to rise through the ruins they built out of your pain. You were never their victim. You were their unfinished prophecy. You are the evidence they hoped would never resurface. The truth they can't unwrite. The verdict they can't appeal. Now every story they tell ends the same way, with you. Because you didn't just survive their narrative. You rewrote it. You flipped the script, burned the pages, and turned the ashes into scripture. You didn't just survive their story. You became the plot twist they'll never recover from. You've outgrown their world. The noise, the jealousy, the endless courtroom of small minds, all of it now feels distant. You've climbed beyond it, not through rage, but through evolution. They chase ghosts now, your ghost. You don't seek revenge anymore, because you became the consequence. Every choice they made against you, it circles back like unpaid debt. Every whisper that tried to bury you, it now echoes in their own heads. You don't fight them anymore. You educate them. Every time they hear your name, it reminds them what silence can build. Every success you breathe is a postscript to the trial they thought ended years ago. Their insomnia, that's your legacy. It's the sound of guilt arguing with time. The sleepless nights, the nervous laughter, the sudden silence in crowded rooms. That's what happens when ghosts evolve into gods. You became untouchable, not by clawing for power, but by letting irrelevance devour those who once laughed. Your peace became their punishment. Your calm became the storm they can't predict. And as they twist beneath the weight of their own memories, you rest, untouched, unreachable, unbothered. Because you've proven the cruelest revenge isn't fire, it's freedom. So sleep calmly. Let them wake in panic. Because you're not haunting them, my friend. You're educating their nightmares.